Meet Dave and Ruth. They're a 60-year-old couple ready to retire in a couple of years, but there's a problem. Dave has come down with a health issue and his life expectancy has been shortened. And so they've come to us to look for a financial plan to see if they can retire about 18 months early at the end of March 2024, which is in about 6 months from now. Now, there's a few problems here. We're reducing a year and a half of income and they still need enough to retire. If they pull the pin at the end of March, do they have enough to hit their retirement goals? It's going to be a challenge, but it's not impossible. So we're going to use our planning software, dig into their case, make a few changes to try and get them on track for retirement for the end of March so that Dave and his wife Ruth can enjoy the rest of the time together while Dave's health slowly deteriorates. Let's jump into the planning software. Dave and Ruth have come to us asking for about $4,000 after tax in their pocket adjusted for inflation for at least the go-go phase of retirement. So that's their minimum requirement. That helps them pay the bills, enjoy life, do a bit of travel, but enjoy time together while Dave's still healthy enough. So the goal is let's get their information into the software and see if we can get them that $48,000 after tax a year. Jumping into the software, if I go into their assets, I'll just highlight what they have. So Dave's been able to build up about $300,000 of RSP and $70,000 of TFSA. On Ruth's side, she didn't work as much. She was raising kids. She only built up $60,000, but also has a $70,000 TFSA. As far as government benefits go, so when we look at their CPP, because they're going to be retiring early at age 60, and for Ruth, because she didn't contribute over the years, we put in her child rearing, but she's at about 40% of the max at 65. For Dave, he's at about 80%. So again, he has a few years of non-contributory years built into all of this. So we want to look at CPP timing as part of this. Now, if we go back to the planning page, when I met with Dave and Ruth and said, look, if you guys are going to work till the end of March, so they have about a quarter of the year of income. So Dave was making $80,000. We put 20 in for him. We have 10,000 for Ruth. We put in their CPP, OAS, it built out their plan. It fell a bit short and it was a little discouraging to Dave and Ruth because they're kind of in between the rock and a hard place of, look, we need to retire because Dave's health, but we also need enough money. Like we can't go back to work later after retirement. And you can see here, there's about $45,500. Now, obviously, this leaves an issue. We're about $2,500 short annually, which is a fair amount of money, which they said, we could do that, Adam, but that would mean absolutely no travel. And, for them, they want to travel, they want to, see the world kind of idea. So we want to make sure we can kind of build in a bit more money. So we're not able to add more money. They want to retire. So how can we make some adjustments to get them to that $48,000 so that they can retire, know they have enough, and live comfortably? Now, one thing we could do in the plan is, increase rate of return, which is, let's take more risk in your portfolio. But they're not comfortable doing that, and neither am I as their financial planner, especially with the shortened life expectancy. Again, we have Dave to age 80, and Ruth wanted to run out to all the way to 95, just in case she continues to live. So what if we look at CPP timing? Now, a lot of you think, okay, well, Adam, if Dave's passing early, Ruth hasn't paid in fully, it doesn't make sense to delay CPP. But the contrary. And I'll show you how this works. And again, this is a case in point of how we can get up to about $48,000 with not adding any more assets. So you can see here, real income, we've been able to get it from $45,500 up to just above $47,000. So we're getting much closer. There's less of a gap here. And how did we get there? Well, we didn't add in any more assets. The assets are the same. All we did is we bumped CPP. You can see here, if I go into benefits here, you can see old age security still starts at 65 for them. But the CPP, you can see here, 67, and then there's another big jump at 70. So let's jump into the government benefits. We can see here for Dave, I bumped his to age 67. That was the sweet spot. I played around with every age between 60 and 70, and 67 for Dave was that sweet spot. And then I went into Ruth and adjusted hers as well. So for her, 70 made the most sense. So if we take this number, 47,093, you can see Dave's CPP is starting at age 67 in here. And that runs all the way down till he passes away. Now, if I go to Ruth, you'll see she's going to have her CPP in here. So government benefits, there's going to be a CPP survivor benefit. So she's waited till 70, so she bumps up to $12,000 a year because she gets that 0.7% per month bump. And then when Dave passes away, she gets a survivor benefit of about $9,200 and continuing to increase as well. So again, that was kind of the magic formula within their CPP. So a lot of you think, well, Dave's only collected CPP for 13 years, like he paid into it for so long. But again, you have to work with the situation you're in and work with your planner to run these numbers. And a lot of you just jump to conclusions. And most of you, if you were Dave or Ruth, would have taken both your CPPs at age 60. And let me show you what that would have done. So if we change Dave's CPP to 60 and we go into Ruth and do the same thing for her. Now let's go back to the planning page and hit recommendations. And I want to see what the sustainability is, meaning that if they decide to take their CPP earlier at 60, how much money can they draw? And you can see here, the answer is $43,813. $3,200 less after tax per year in their pocket for the rest of their life. That's a substantial reduction. So again, understand how CPP works, how it integrates into your plan. If we were to do this for this client, they wouldn't even be close. So if they met with a financial planner that was big on pushing CPP at 60, they would continue to work. But again, because we've kind of played with those numbers, we've been able to get them to $47,000. So obviously we don't want to take CPP earlier. Now again, we've gone in and also kind of melted down their RSP, done an RSP meltdown here for Dave, about $30,025. So that's built into it as well. Some of the tax savings as well within that. But again, Dave passes away at 80, and Ruth has said, look, if Dave passed away, I only need about $3,500 a month. I don't need the $4,000. Dave's not around. So again, we're close at that $47,000. So I said, well, what about if we laddered the income a bit? We gave you a bit more now, we get hit your $48,000. So let's take a look at that. If we jump into the laddered income strategy, again, we've left Ruth's CPP at 70, Dave at 67. You can see we've been able to ladder them up to about $52,000 a year. That goes down to age 71, drops to 45, so it gives them a bit more travel money earlier, while Dave's going to be a bit more healthy and able to do that at 45, and then it drops to 42 later on. And they were comfortable with this. They felt, you know what, this is enough. They ran their budget, reviewed it. So we were able to get them into retirement. So there's a bit of a case study and a challenge for us that we love to do. I love these types of challenges in that, look, a client had an unforeseen circumstance come on their plate. They wanted to retire early. They were unable to, or thought they were unable to. But with some small adjustments, we were able to get their income. If they just plowed and took their CPP at 60 versus taking it a bit later, laddering that income, it gave them substantial more money, hundreds of thousands more in their pocket by just a little bit of tweaking, planning. But most importantly, they're able to retire at the end of March. They're able to enjoy time together, enjoy retirement, have enough to travel on all that, and even a bit more. They wanted 48, able to get them up to about 52,000. They were comfortable with that 45 and 42 as they start to spend less as time goes on. Conservative plan, conservative rate of return and all of this, but it met their needs and it got them to retirement. So again, we're gonna do more of these challenge videos going forward. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.